The United States Senate recently showed its so-called strong support for Taiwan through the trade pact and tax legislation. It says Taiwan has a unique status and it wants to find creative ways for the so-called support. Unique and creative. What does this mean? So first, what is the unique status of Taiwan stated by the Senate? The international community holds that Taiwan is part of China and the government of the People's Republic of China is the sole legal government of China. But the island has emerged as one of the central issues between China and the U.S. So the U.S. has been pushing bipartisan legislation related to Taiwan. Most of their previous bills were political, like the Travel Act removing restrictions on travel for officials from both sides. The U.S. is trying to push Taiwan to the forefront of international politics. This angered China's mainland and it was opposed by many, even in the island. See the people's responses to the U.S. Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan last summer, and you can easily find out. So the U.S. has been turning to push up economic and trade bills related to Taiwan. Well, that is what they call creative ways, and that is why the Senate passed the first trade agreements signed under the U.S.-Taiwan Initiative on 21st Century Trade last week and said on its website on Thursday, its Committee of Finance will meet in September to mark up tax legislation strengthening economic relations with Taiwan. They said this focuses on the basic trade facilitation and transparency standards and procedures, but all these go against the U.S. stated recognition of one China principle. Well, they said this is to make the Taiwan less dependent on the mainland. But the fact is, the both sides of the Taiwan Straits are like brothers and sisters. The mainland is Taiwan's biggest source of the trade surplus. Well, last year, Taiwan had a trade surplus of more than 156 billion US dollars with the mainland, while with US, the island had a trade surplus of less than 30 billion US dollars. In the meantime, the U.S. is selling arms to the island and recently increased the sales to the island over and over again. And Reuters just reported the newest U.S. weapon sales worth more than 300 million US dollars. So that is what the U.S. said about the unique status of Taiwan and the creative ways of the U.S. so-called support to the island. Zheng Yibing, CGTN, Beijing.